Wary observations, righteous discussions, unite people. It's the Word Up Podcast, and I am your host,
Omni.
OMNI, Omni, etc. Folks, this is what we got going on today. This is what we got going on this week. And I think I'm going to make one tweak. I didn't want to go here. I didn't want to go to this. I really didn't. But I think Saturdays are it. I thought I could hang on Fridays. But it looks like Saturdays are it. Got a great show for you today called Lies Hold No Power. We're going to get into 2 stories of vindication. Actually 3. Because I actually want to start off on a tangent, and then we're going to get into the meat of the discussion. That said, let's jump on in. If you would, subscribe, hit the notification bell, as well as the thumbs up. Salute to everybody in the building. Shout out to the chat gang. Love W, I see you. What's good? Peace. 100. So, what we got today? Lies hold no power. 2 stories of vindication, and I wanted to start off on a tangent, but it still goes to today's theme of vindication now that I think about it, because the tangent I want to start off on is, if y'all don't know, I like I'm not going to say all anime, but I like my share of anime. And a show that I found interesting on Nickelodeon when it came out was Avatar: The Last Airbender. Completely different art style. It really was a standout marquee show. Extremely well written. Great story of adversity, triumph. Story of forgiving yourself above all else for stuff that you cannot control. There's themes of that, and being able to do the right thing even when it doesn't benefit you immediately. That's what I got from Avatar. Those were some of the messages and themes, as well as, unity, friendship, all of that stuff. But really there's a lot of dope philosophy in anime in general, and Avatar is no different. I call they probably don't refer to it as anime or manga, but I do, because of the art style, the setting, and come on, you got cartoons doing martial arts and shooting fireballs out of their hand. If that ain't anime, I don't know what the hell is. But I say vindication because they recently had an outing on Netflix. And if you follow the last outing that Avatar had live action wise, it didn't go so great. It didn't go so well. It did not go so well. So, M. Night Shyamalan, which, a thriller director, probably wasn't the best person for it. He also played in it as Fire Nation. The whole script fell apart. The characters were goofy. The casting was goofy. Poor direction all around. Today they have a much better. Today they have a much better showing, live action wise. I wish some things would tighten up, but for the most part, it's a lot better than what we received prior. And I don't want to oversell it because it's so much better than whatever the hell M. Night Shyamalan drummed up. This one actually worked with Nickelodeon Studios, so it wasn't just a dry interpretation, but they did condense a lot of stuff down in order to in order to fit the narrative, much like they did with One Piece. If anybody saw live action One Piece, but it's a pretty good outing. Some things that are loose that I'm not going to reveal. I want you to go watch it for yourself. Some things that are loose in the script and loose based on the characters in the original material. I hope they tighten up in the next season. But this season was a solid season. It was a very solid season. A lot of the core themes of the original show were presented. I think they got a lot of the characters spot on, but some of the core characters need a little work. They're just about there, but they need some work. So I say Avatar has the Avatar franchise has been vindicated from the last outing that it's still recovering from, and the franchise is like 10 years old. They have their own podcast, the whole nine. They're really pushing Avatar to the fullest, and you absolutely love to see it. Today, into the meat and potatoes. And yes, please do as Love W suggested. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Highly appreciate you, Love W. I'm getting on my Instagram, because that is one skill I have yet to master, is telling everybody what's happening on Instagram as it's happening. I do the promo and everything. By the way, if you it's Word Up Podcast, Word Up _ excuse me. No. It's Word _ Up _ Podcast. You know what I'm saying? On IG, post clips from the show, probably do random content. That's what that's what I plan on start doing. I'm gonna start doing random content, just reacting to certain things, because my DMs are crazy. I get flooded with clips, and I don't know where to put all of this material. Y'all been giving me clip after clip after clip after clip. So I got an abundance of material to work with. Some of it is stupid as hell, because that's the nature of the internet. But also there's some things that I think would thematically fit the show, as we want to prop up avatars. Not quite like the Airbender, but kind of like the Airbender. We want to prop up avatars, dissect their ideologies and philosophies in order to see what it is, what works in today's world and what probably really does not work in today's world. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people in society are doing the work for us. They're going through a lot of stuff out there, and we should look at it and learn from it. Not necessarily judge the person, but the conduct, and see, is that something that we want to partake in? And in many cases, it is not. And that's why we say lies hold no power today, because lies we want to get rid of. I want to get rid of a world that has its inhabitants feel as though they have to lie. Because the only reason you feel like you have to lie is something is wrong. There's an imbalance somewhere. There's an imbalance in the truth somewhere. for you to feel as though you have to lie. Number one thing I hate, my ultimate pet peeve. I know somebody out there goes through this because we're all human. Is when somebody lies and they didn't even have to. Oh shit. When somebody lies and they didn't even need to lie. Nothing disturbs me more. Because now I'm trying to figure out, why the hell did you even? Indeed, Love W. Indeed. The truth makes us free. The more you tell the truth. And I said this. I said this on the last show, right? I said this on the last show. Word, my pet peeve too. Like, if you had a reason, okay, I could somewhat respect it, but if you didn't have to. But anyway, like I said on the last show, if you stop telling lies to yourself, then it's easy to tell the truth to everybody else. Because the number one thing that people don't like about the truth a lot of times is that behind the truth, there's a call to action. If you are not in line with the truth, if you are not aligned with the truth, there's a call to action. And I found throughout the course of my entire life, majority of the populace is rather lazy. It is what it is. Listen, I be doing a lot of things, right? But there's certain times, look, I want to kick back. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Nah, my feet hurt like everybody else. But I'm talking about that internal work. I'm talking about going over past traumas and seeing if you reacted to them appropriately. First of all, you can't tell somebody how to react in the moment, but it's best to analyze past situations that you've been in. It was like, did that need that amount of force? Did that need that level of aggression? Did I? And something that doesn't get talked about enough is that when men choose to, quote unquote, be the bigger man, they're seen as the smaller one. And that brings me to our first topic today, leading into this whole theme that we have, flies holding no power. First topic, we gonna get with Terry Crews. Terry Crews was on Club Shay Shay recently. And what Terry had to say, he cleared up some misconceptions and misnomers about how people perceive him. He admitted and took accountability for the things in which he, in the areas that he reflected upon and went wrong. It's really, really an awesome thing to watch Terry come back and actually talk uninterrupted, because I believe on the internet, when, you know, Twitter was just getting up there as a social media platform, it'd been around a while around that time, but it was just getting up there when Terry Crews hit the scene. And Terry Crews would be having debates, well, not debates, full-blown arguments, really, with people back and forth on the platform. And, you know, he's trying to out some people. He's trying to bring certain things to light. And then he, you know, some things he was taken to that place that it's easy to fall into. That place where, you know, people are being petty with you. So then, you know what I'm saying, you want to show them how petty you can be. And then somewhere along the line, the general public thinks, oh no, you took it too far. But wait a minute. I thought this was the game that we was playing. It's another pet peeve of mine. Another pet peeve of mine is when I react, but people don't see what I'm responding to. That's why I've learned this isn't something that I've always done. Like just being, a mild mannered individual. This isn't something I've always done. But I've had to learn that certain things do not require certain responses. Yes, the moment it may be challenging, and when I say challenging, it may be embarrassing, it may be tumultuous. Me being, the competitive person that I am, it may feel like in the moment someone got one up on you, but you got to concentrate on the war and not the battles. It may feel like in certain instances somebody got one up over on you. You need to concentrate on you got to concentrate on the war, not the battles. You got to concentrate on the war. Understand what I'm saying? You got to concentrate on the war, not the battles. So you could lose everything by doing the wrong thing as a man, especially as a man, doing the wrong thing. But in certain places where we come from, especially as black men, doing the right thing is seen as doing the wrong thing a lot of times. It depends on what environment you're in and the rules of engagement in that environment. A lot of times doing the right thing is seen as doing the wrong thing, when really doing the right thing is doing the right thing and doing the wrong thing is doing the wrong thing. Understand what I'm saying? So we're going to get into this video with Terry Crews and Club Shay Shay. I think he broke down everything that he needed to in order for the people to get a good perspective on why he moved the way that he moved way back when. Let's get to it. And this particular incident that we're talking about is when he got groped. He got groped by a movie exec. And everybody had a comment about what this man went through and what he had, the choices that he had to make. And I understand, like my first reaction, the first time that I saw this go down, my reaction was, man, if you don't steal off on him, I was about 20. Like I said, this is about a decade old, so I was in my 20s. I definitely would have stole off on I definitely would have stole off on a nigga if he would have tried me in that. But this actually made sense the way that he completely broke it down. And also, let me say something about women. Women save lives. The right woman will save a man's life. That's true of my woman. That's certainly true of Terry Crews' woman. The right woman will have you thinking twice about doing the thing that you want to do just for your own personal gratification. The right woman would. The right woman. There's a lot of wrong women out here that will hype you up and put a battery in your back to go get it blown out, you know what I'm saying, by doing something dumb. Or, you know what I'm saying, a lot of fools in jail right now behind being hyped up by a woman. But the right woman will have you thinking, nah, I shouldn't get physical with him, because that's not even respected in this world. In this world, in this space, getting physical doesn't really hurt somebody because all these people got money. A hospital bill ain't nothing. They go on vacation damn near every day. So what is he going to be suffering time off work for? That's just another vacation. He handles business on the phone, computer, He doesn't really go to the office that much. Talking about this movie exec. it's really a lot of phone calls that he has to make, and he can make them from the hospital. It's not gonna disrupt his pay, his flow, his lifestyle, his livelihood. But for some reason, when Terry Crews's balls got grabbed, everything got shut down for him. But let's listen to what he broke down about the scenario when when Shannon Sharpe asked him this.
You turned down the expendable 4 roles because of an assault and because you refused to withdraw the petition of the civil suit. Was that difficult for you, or were you standing on, as they say, not business, but principle?
It was extremely difficult because I love those guys, man. We did this together. You know, Randy Couture, Dolph Lundgren, Sylvester Stallone. I call him my dad in the business. He was like, man, I'm gonna put you in this thing. And then when the 4th one came, I mean, the producer told me, you ain't gonna be in it if you don't drop this case. I said,
now, kind of crazy for me that you call another grown man dad, but it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But that might be something that I need to work through myself, because when somebody puts you on to a level of, it's that whole teach a man to fish thing. There's something to be said about the relationship of a person that puts you on to reach your highest heights in life. What do you call, I would say mentor. I don't know why he said dad, you know what I'm saying? I would say mentor. So yeah, that part's crazy to me. However, there's still something to acknowledge of someone that puts you in such a position in life. And that's how he chooses to acknowledge it. That's fine. But yeah, dad is crazy. He's not your parent. He's your mentor. He's your mentor. So I'm already, Terry, but let's continue.
Come on, man. I said, what kind of game are you playing? Now remember, I already been manipulated by the NFL. I never forget when I had to go home on that Monday. I had to bring back my playbook.
Right.
So you can get rid of me anytime you want. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But this was my terms. This is my Barry ain't going back. You know what I mean? This is me like, no, I'm not going to nod my head yes and mean no. I mean no this time.
Right.
And I love those guys, man. Jason Statham, all of them. And I hope we can do something together in the future. And it ain't their fault. You know what I mean? But there was just things I have to say, remember now, like I said, if I'm doing it, you got to know I've already counted all the costs. All the costs. And I've done many, many things for free, but that meant more to me than the things I got paid a lot of money on.
How difficult was it to come out? Because you said a Hollywood exec groped you.
Yeah.
And that's not easy for a man, especially a man of your stature.
Right.
And then all of a sudden the fabrications of the stories that started being fabricated about you.
Yeah.
Did you think, because you said anytime you come out with something, you've already calculated the risk and the cost of whatever you're going to say or do.
Yep.
Did you think you would get the kind of blowback because I don't think a whole lot of people believed you.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be strange. First of all, if it hadn't happened to me and I heard it, I'd have been like, man, what is this dude talking about? Mm-hmm. That's why I never got mad. I couldn't get mad at people going, man, what are you doing, man? Big ass Terry Crews.
Right.
But see, I'd already been through probably 8 years of therapy, me and my wife, rebuilding, me understanding what true power was, me understanding that it wasn't about how hard see, you got to understand, in the NFL, road rage works. That works. Mm-hmm. But in real life, go to jail. Mm-hmm. Real life, hey man, you do what you did on the NFL football field, you do what you did in MMA, you going to jail, straight to jail. Right. Jail full of cats that was like, I ain't taking that.
Right.
And I realized, because my wife made me promise, she said, Terry, because she, I used to have hair trigger and temper and be fighting people, and she was like, man, what are you doing? She's like, we're going to lose everything. You can't do this. You got a son now. And son was my last one. That's my fifth. She's like, you want to be able to show him You want to be able to be there for them, but you acting like this. And I realized something. And I said, man, there's much more power in thinking your way out of situations than fighting your way out of them. And
there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said about. Listen, as he said, he had. Now, this is the thing. At this point in his career, he has millions of dollars. We all know exactly what his net worth is. I didn't look up that information. But he has millions of dollars. He has been in movie after movie. And then it comes to the Expendables 4. So this is around that time, after he's already successful, after he's been in White Chicks, after he did Friday After Next alongside Katt Williams and the rest. This man is already in an affluential position. Some would say that he has the bail money and the lawyer money to retaliate. However, what he doesn't have is a network of individuals backing him the way that those people have a network of individuals. And this is what you need to understand about Hollywood. This is what everyone needs to understand about Hollywood. Is that Hollywood is all about relationship. Yeah, there's money. Yeah, there's acting talent. But most businesses, honestly, are about relationships. Yeah, there's work to be done, products to sell, assets to leverage, the whole nine. But it's really about relationships. At the core of everything, it's really about relationships. And he's running the risk of looking like Will Smith out here. Even if he did get, essayed and all of that, there is no upside to a man talking about his essay experience. There is none. That's why most men hide it, because you'll either be laughed at. They'll say, like they did with Terry Crews, why didn't you do nothing, when he's in mixed company with a bunch of people out here not wanting to look like the typical angry black man. Should he wolf out? You know what I'm saying? Which around that time, I was like, yo, Terry, you need to wolf out. You need to whoop that nigga. I don't even understand. I couldn't even register. But let's hear him continue of all the reasons why he didn't immediately jump to it, even though he wanted to. Like, he has, at some point in the game, at some point in life, you have something to lose. At some point, it's not about you anymore. As a man, I'm just saying, at some point in your life, it's not about you anymore. And a lot of people don't understand that. At some point, it's not just going to be about you and how you feel about certain things. It's the same principle as going to work. There's days where you probably don't want to go to work. Will your children be fed if you just never go to work? If you never go outside and get any type of money whatsoever ever again, it's not about you. He wanted to. Look at the frustration in this man's face as he's talking about it right now. He clearly wanted to. He's animalistic. He's been in some of the most aggressive spaces. NFL, he's been in the NFL. Some of the most aggressive spaces that a man could put himself in. I'm sure he wanted to, but is it necessarily smart for him to when he's got other people to consider and their well-being? Let's continue.
This was what blew me away. It's because my wife was right there. And I remember we went home and I was like, this is bullshit. I was like, I can't believe this. She said, Terry. She said, ain't a woman in your life ain't been through that shit. Okay. Wow. And she said, now what you gonna do?
Welcome to Flatiron School.
Oh, man. All right. I keep forgetting to change that. Well, we're going to go back and then we're going to... But this is what I don't understand. Now that I'm older, it looks so... Like another situation that strikes me the same, and Diddy's in the news. We're not talking about Diddy today. I know. That is a whole other case. Trust me. I've looked at some of what's out there. I don't know enough to make a definitive decision. We're not talking about P. Diddy. So this is a Diddy free live stream for the moment. If something breaks, if I get a notification on my phone and it's something absolutely reckless, we're going to watch it in real time. But yeah, no, we're not doing it. But it's like Ines with the cheesecake in, what was that show? Making the Band, right? The only reason they had so much footage and the cheesecake thing was a big thing, I watched it not too long ago with a homie. We rewatched it and we was like, yo, this is stupid. All he had to do was get a piece of cheesecake and then and then come back and the studio would have been open. But the fact that they were dragging their feet, they thought that Diddy was playing with him, which he might have been, honestly. But Diddy was really testing. It's like, man, you say you come from the street. It's a harsh, horrible environment, where you might have to murder somebody. I'm sorry, that's a word. This is my show. I don't give a damn. You might have to unalive. I'm gonna say unalive, but you might have to unalive because I do care about the monetization. I had to think about it because I got people I got to take care of, right? I do care about the monetization. So he had, what I'm saying, Diddy was saying, look, you say you from this harsh environment where, you might have to, where your hand might be forced to unalive somebody. Bro, all I required was you getting a piece of cheesecake. That was it. I didn't ask you to stab anybody or shoot anybody, but our minds get so twisted about what the perception of reality is that had Diddy asked Ines at that time to do any of that, he probably would have been more than down for that. But go get a piece of cheesecake was difficult, but you ready to unalive niggas. This is what I'm saying about the evolution of us when we become men. What's really worth it at the end of the day? You willing to go up the block and put somebody in the trunk of a car, but you can't go across the bridge to give me a piece of cheesecake so you can fulfill what you believe is your life's purpose, which is making music. And this is the same thing with Terry Crews in the situation. A lot of people overthink it. And I have this great phrase that's in one of my songs, I Can See. It's between the hook. I say it at the end of both verses. Everybody talk that bullshit they rather do till it's them that it happens to. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody talks that bullshit that they rather do till it's them that that it happens to, but you've never been in Terry Crews's position. And it was wrong of me as a young man to judge him back then. But if I was in his position at that time, I would have. I believe differently because I know more today. As Terry Crews knew more then. I don't know why I put his name down as Terry Crew. Oh, hold on, folks. No, we are not suffering this. We gonna give this man his proper respect. All right. But yeah, that's basically what it comes to. Let's get back into the video. But that's basically what it comes down to is what's really worth it? What is at the core of your value system? And why are you willing to jeopardize so much for seemingly so little? Understand.
Now what you gonna do? He said, because we can't fight our way throughout this stuff. He said, your daughter, your mother, me, been places where you just had to eat it. I said, you're right. And I said, you know what though? I said, I'm gonna do it the other way. I'm gonna sue him. And she said, there you go. And I'm gonna tell you how to do it. Wow. My wife was right there with me. And she said, you tell what happened and you show people this could happen. And I remember, I said, hey man, size ain't got nothing to do with it. First of all, if you did it, I mean, look, it's like saying I'm too big to get shot. Well,
actually, you the perfect size.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you the perfect size. Shoot your big black ass. That's big and black. That's a perfect size to get shot. That's crazy.
Hey, well, if the bullet hit,
Yeah.
What you know what I mean? No, I'm big, I'm giant. My chest was so, right. No, that went right through. I'm standing there and it happened.
Yeah.
Just if I acknowledge, if I don't say nothing, that don't mean it didn't happen.
Correct.
So what does that mean? But now I said, hold up. Because they were telling me that he could get away with it, he could do it. This is my agency, man. I'm like, I paid y'all millions of dollars, man, millions. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm sitting here going, I'm on the black side of this thing. So I'm going, yo, wait a minute. Now, would you be doing this to your white clients?
Right.
I'm going, I said, so what is going on? Why is this dude still there? And they said, well, they thought I was trying to do some money, like give me a money grab. I said, no. I said, I don't want no money, but he got to go. You don't get to touch the clients. You don't get to do that. And all of a sudden they were like, no, he gets to stay. He's a partner. I was like, all right, we're going to, and dude, I spent $500,000 of my own money. But how many women have that? How many people have that? How many? I was in the position, like I said, how many? I get to have that because I got that kind of money. Mm-hmm. But for me, I would have spent $1 million to win $1. And I said to my wife, and my wife was like, go ahead, Terry. She said, this is how you fight. Not with your fists, but you think your way through this thing. And you know what? They finally came up with it and finally, because this is the thing. When you do stuff like that, you don't rob the biggest bank in the place. You rob a whole bunch of little ones. Mm-hmm. And all these people came out the woodwork, man, that nobody knows about that joined my case. Mm. They were like, yeah, he did this to me too. Yeah, he did this. He was coming. I said, this dude. Mm-hmm.
So this is what it comes down to. Katt Williams. Monique. I believe Monique was on the last show and the show prior. We covered a little bit of Monique. This is what it comes down to. Is that all of these people are being outed and we're worried about the wrong thing. We're more concerned about Terry Crews's reaction than we are about getting the people that are doing the wrongdoing in the first place the fuck up out of there. Pardon my French. We are concerned about the reaction far more than we're concerned about the initial event. when we should be looking at what the initial event is and going over and taking care of that situation. But for some reason, we want to pick apart. And for some reason, when it's Terry Crews, it's not victim blaming. For some reason, everybody's talking about, oh, why didn't you, da-da-da-da, you're a grown-ass man, da-da-da-da-da. For some reason, that doesn't fall under the category of victim blaming or victim shaming. I just want y'all to think about that for a moment. This man was actually, he said he got the money back. He got the money, so the court settled it. So I can actually go on record, because it is on record. He got SA'd by a Hollywood executive in mixed company. And now when the man goes and talks about it, instead of going up somebody's head, instead of, you know what I'm saying, acting like King Kong, instead of being violent, dragging somebody across the floor. Yeah, it's exciting. Don't get me wrong. It's very exciting. That'd be a crazy headline to see. We'd be talking about that for years to come. But what happened when Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock? Which is, I will forever say, that was a sentence I never thought I would say in life. Will Smith put out one slave movie. We ain't heard shit from Will since. Y'all probably have. I really wasn't in tune to Will that much. So if Will Smith has done anything since emancipation, you let me know. But Terry Crews talks about his experience. Goes to social media, which is, you know, right next to where the Ocean Gate was before it popped. The number one fuck around and find out location on the earth. Social media. He went to social media with his story about how he was SA'd. And for some reason, saying in his particular instance, why didn't you do anything about it? You should have handled it right there. Why didn't you da-da-da? Because, yeah, we know the initial animalistic response that we would all like to respond with. But then you got to factor in your wife's livelihood, your son's livelihood, everything on the line. He said he had 5 sons. He had a newborn at the time. So that was his 5th child that he has to take care of. And he still ended up being blackballed because of all the back and forth from him defending himself from people who have no problem looking at him as though he is less of a man for talking about, which is why I said earlier in the program, there is no benefit to a man talking about him being SA'd. There just isn't. The number one person that's going to be victim blamed is going to be a man in an SA scenario when he is, the one that was SA'd. Far more often. And that's why, far more often, men don't talk about these things when it happens. There are men that come home from prison that have been passed around the prison. Something a little bit off about him. But he won't say anything about prison. He won't say anything about his time incarcerated. And he's moving a little different not the institutional shit, but some other shit, he's moving a little different. All I'm gonna say is be careful out there, sis. Dealing with the jailbirds. They need help, but I don't think the help that they need you can assist them with. So we have Terry Crews. He's talking about the things that he stood to lose. The roof over his head. Before this section in this segment, he was actually talking about, his time being in the NFL and how he was about to get some game money. He was headed into the season and they cut him. And that's when he made the transition into acting. It's really a forceful transition because the NFL said they were done with you. So he really wanted to make that work, and he did make it work, and he became successful at it. And for some reason, someone decided to get a little handsy with him. He talks about it openly because when Terry Crews' case came out, it was around the initial start of the Me Too, and this is what every man saw. Salute to the intellectual soapbox. Intellectual soapbox in the building. Salute to you. Love the work that you guys are putting in over there. I'll see you guys soon. Next time y'all live stream. I think y'all broadcasted earlier today. I need to go back and catch that one. No lie, a lot of the times y'all never know. If y'all have channels, y'all never know that I was actually over there watching your stuff. Cause I'll give a like, I'll share it out, but a lot of times I don't even want my presence to be known. I don't want my presence to be known. I just like, you know what I'm saying, supporting people and then just like watching them grow and not even like I was that way with Abba and Preach. When Abba and Preach got started, I think I might have commented on like 2 of their videos, but I share it out, a lot of their content out, and like a lot of their stuff. Even to this day, I like a lot of their content. You know what I'm saying? So you never know who you come across, who supports you, who doesn't support you. That's why I just advocate for people to keep pushing. And please, everybody, please go check out the Intellectual Soapbox. If you are listening to the sound of my voice, go check out the Intellectual Soapbox. It is spelled like it is spelled on my screen right now. The Intellectual Soapbox. All right. THEINTELLECTUALSOAPBOX. I like how they're building over there. I like how they're moving. It's a good time. I need to I'm not sure if you're on the schedule, but I need to tweak my schedule so I can do more of I'm trying to find one time to do this podcast, like a set time, but life is so crazy. But once I set that time in, then I'll build out and be able to build out more shows. But also check out my IG as well. I'm going to have a lot more clips. I was saying that earlier. I'm going to have a lot more clips and things over there. Utilizing the content that you all be sending me. Y'all be sending me some of the craziest shit across the internet. I don't even know how to process majority of the things that are in my DMs. It's ridiculous. But salute to Intellectual Soapbox. All right. But yeah, man, Terry Crews, he got a bad rap around the Me Too movement. And because the Me Too movement was going on during the time, he felt comfortable divulging information that, let's be honest, most men would take to the grave. He felt comfortable divulging information that most men would more than likely take to the grave. And the reason why is exactly what happened to him. Nobody wanted to hear about it. every single individual was like, yo, that's wild. Why didn't you fight him? Why didn't you just, because I know I would have chokeslammed him. And like I said, myself, I would have stole off immediately. But back when this happened, I was like in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm 30 something and now I see it more from his perspective. I actually have things to lose. There are things that I stand to lose. People that will no longer be supported without my presence, without me being free. You know, he had bail money and all of that, but that is just another headache. And then he would have clearly been assaulting that man. And also, everybody sees the reaction and not the initial thing. Not the initial act that made me react to what you. So if nobody at the party saw that man grope him, and this man and Terry Crews just out of nowhere decide to choke slam this little motherfucker. And for good measure, give him the people's elbow. I don't think Terry Crews would have went home that evening. I don't think his family life would have been as stable. And when you have a man, and when you have a family as a man, you tend to put them first before your own feelings. Let's get back into the video. Hold on. Yeah, I got my phone in my lap. Hold on. I usually do it via my phone app. Hold on. Ooh. Let's go.
And all of a sudden, they were like, hey, Terry, guess what? We're going to fire him and we're going to give you all your money back. How about that? I was like, cool.
All the money that y'all done took in from them fees, yep. I need that.
All that. Give me my money back. Thank you. And I moved on. Right. But remember, it's not about revenge. Right. It's about, but this thing, men, and this is one thing I want every man out there to know, is that you worth it. Mm-hmm. Because you can discount yourself, like, oh man, it wasn't no thing, it ain't no thing. But this is the thing. How I had to look at myself. I have a little picture of myself when I was 10 years old on my desk. And I said, man, what if somebody had messed with that little kid? What would you do? That's you. Mm. Take care of you. Take care of you. Really, don't let nobody treat that little boy like he's worth less. Because that little boy is me. Wow. And that's the same thing. I think every man needs to understand who he really, really is. And the thing is, doesn't mean beating people up. Right. Doesn't mean swinging a bat, shooting up the place. Doesn't mean driving a car through the center of the thing. It means, hey man, you can't do that. No. Standing up and taking your voice, and that's your story. And I stood with let me say, I was inspired by all these women that came forward. That was like, hey, me too. This happened to me. This happened to me. And you know what? I cannot count the number of men that came forward. And it was like, man, wrestlers, NFL players, all this. They was like, you know, that happened to me.
That is simply insane. That is simply insane. So what Katt Williams in Club Shay Shay revealed, right? This is what Katt Williams revealed in Club Shay Shay. And we're going to get into some Katt Williams later. But what Katt Williams revealed in Club Shay Shay was a lot of the things that we already knew about Hollywood. And for some reason, we're still cool with this stuff going on. It's a network at this point. I mean, you got Diddy's case. You got Katt Williams talking about Harvey Weinstein trying to suck. I ain't going to repeat that. You got so many instances of Holly weird shit going on. We have so many instances of people talking about this was done to me, that was done to me, and nobody did anything about it. It's hard to not look at all of these people as a collective, as a sort of cabal of individuals that, yeah, I do my dirt, you do your dirt. Yeah, we do this fucked up activity, but we do it together. It's very weird. That's why it's called Holly weird. It's very weird because everybody knows everybody in the business. It's a network. Hollywood is a network of individuals, and everybody knows everybody in the network to some degree. Everybody who's anybody, as they would say. Anybody who's anybody, as they would say. So Diddy knows Harvey Weinstein. On some level, he has a relationship. In order to get his music into movies, he's gonna holler at movie producers so that they can do the sync licensing and get that accomplished. One hand washes the other. You don't think they have little side? I know how, you know what I'm saying, men get down at work on the 9 to 5. Blue collar work. You don't think they have more time to talk in the white collar world? You don't think they have more time to conspire about doing things outside of work? Like in blue collar world, it's like going to the bar, but in this, I'm not going to say, I'm not putting it all on the white collar people. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say in this particular world, the rich degenerate world, the rich sexual deviance world. You think these people don't coalesce? Learn to coexist and have parties together? You see the clips of Diddy's parties. You see the pictures from Diddy's parties. You don't think a lot of other execs have parties like that? Harvey Weinstein had parties like that. I think it was what was that one chick's name? What was that one chick's name that said, never go to a Harvey Weinstein. If Harvey Weinstein wants you to party in his hotel past 3 a.m., don't go. There is something to be said. Of all of this wickedness in high places. For we do not wrestle with flesh, but principalities. And what? Wickedness in high places. So I look at it very differently nowadays than I used to. I look at things very differently nowadays than I used to. And to me, I think we are honing in on the wrong things. And when I say we, I mean mainly black culture. We have too many conversations about the reaction instead of the initial act that caused the person to react in the first place. You pluck me and I punch you. It may be imbalanced, but why did you pluck me in the first place? That's what I don't understand. That's why I don't understand. Because somebody in the room would have been like, and this is another gamble that Terry would have taken. Oh man, he just does that to everybody. Like it's supposed to be normal, accepted behavior. That's why Cuba Gooding Jr. is in the crossfire right now when it comes to Diddy as well. He's notoriously taking his pants off. Everybody in Hollywood that knows that he takes his pants off in mixed company, that's just what Cuba Gooding Jr. does in mixed company. Everybody's there like, oh yeah, that's just him. Well, he don't need to be the fuck here. That's that's what I would be on. That's what I would be on. You take your pants off, and look, if you can't party without keeping your pants on, you don't need to fucking be at this party. You could go down the street or somewhere. You don't need to be at this party. You don't need to be at my party. You can't keep your pants on. You don't need to be around us. Get the fuck from around here. That's what I'm saying. But I digress. Let's get back. Let's wrap up this clip. And then we're going to get into another clip of Terry Crews on Club Shay Shay. And then we're going to segue into more vindication. As we know, lies hold no power. Let's continue.
Now, I would never tell people to make their stuff public.
Right.
I would never, ever say it. But you got to tell a counselor, a friend, somebody so that you can get past this. And I was just in the public eye, and I had that skill and ability to deal with it in the public because I'm always public.
How did it make you feel that some prominent people in our community made light of your situation?
I understood it. Man, you gotta know, I'm from Flint, man. You know, first of all, you grow up with, you in the hood, you know about what's wrong with you. You know what I mean? You got a big head, that's big head Johnny.
Right.
You got big ears, that's ears, whatever. You know?
Factual.
You know,
Right,
it's like you grow up with, you gotta be tough.
Right.
That's the whole thing. Trash talk, whatever, you get dunked on, you don't live it down. I mean, that's just the way it was. And I started to realize, well, they're gonna talk anyway.
So,
You know what I mean? So let me give them something to talk about.
Yep.
But I started to realize, when I had so many black people come forward and say, thank you. Thank you. Hey, bro, thank you for coming forward and saying what happened.
Right.
Because that happened to me. Man, people pulling me to the side. And that's why I know I was right. I said, no, this is a problem. I was going to parties, going to Hollywood stuff, man, and people pulling me to the side in tears. I just got to talk with somebody. And I'm going, I knew when I went in front of the United States Congress and told that story in front of all those senators and the whole thing, I said, this is a major problem. And I knew my purpose. It was almost like it transcended football, Hollywood. Now I'm in the government circles and I'm going, wow. And if one person's life changed because of that, it was worth it.
You caught a lot of criticism, a lot of flack, a lot of heat with the Gabrielle Union situation. I think she was released from AGT. And it seemingly some of the tweets that you said about black communism, I think something to that effect. What was the term? Black supremacy. And for the longest time, it seemed like black Twitter was on your side, the black society was on your side. But it seemed like when you didn't come to the defense of Gabrielle, it seemed like it switched on you a little bit. Yeah. And then it was tough because you're on an island.
Yeah.
You're on an island. How were you able to get over that? And then have you talked to Gabrielle since this?
Yes. Yeah. Let me tell you, man, that is one of my biggest regrets. Again, I apologize publicly, but I up until this time, I never had talked to her. And this is the thing, man. And the problem I had was getting on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you can't have a nuanced conversation. this is the thing too.
Not in 180 characters back then, 140, now it's 280, but you still can't.
And this is another thing. You can't do anything angry. And I got angry.
Right.
People was talking, the internet talks. They talk junk. They talk about my wife, they talk about my kids, and I got mad, and then you start tweeting.
Full accountability. This man is taking full accountability for them bullshit ass tweets that he was having back in the day. Like, that man was reckless on Twitter, upset, angry. And Twitter is just the extension of your mouthpiece, just like anything else. It's like this video that I'm talking to you through, just like this microphone, camera. It's just another device to get the word out, to get your thoughts out, to speak on your perspective. But when you're under the sway of emotion, you're liable to say anything. And that's why it's a man's prerogative to keep your emotions in check. Because if you come from an emotional place, as human beings, honestly, if you come from an emotional place, you're likely not thinking things all the way through as you should be. Let's continue.
Angry tweet.
Full accountability. I just want full accountability.
It's just like road rage.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't smart. And let me tell you a beautiful story. And I think this is going to sum it all up. And I really, really hope and pray that everyone understands, because this is such a beautiful thing. 2 years ago, my wife and I were celebrating our anniversary at it was at a music festival with Robert Glasper and all these cats. And we sit up there and Dwayne Wade and Gabby come in. And now I didn't know they were there. But my wife was looking behind me. She's like, honey. And I'm like, I look, and then I said, oh man. And I said, because I had apologized publicly, but we had never talked personally. Mm-hmm. Now I knew through therapy, it's one of those things that you have to wait to be invited into people's circles, especially if there was anything wrong. Man, Dwayne Wade comes up to me and I get this tap on my shoulder. Dude, it was the most beautiful thing ever. I turn around, he says, what's up, black man? What's up? He said, I see another black king here. I just want to acknowledge you. He gives me a hug. Wow.
Yo, that is crazy. I don't understand. I don't understand certain nuances about that relationship. I'm going to be honest. I don't understand where they were at before. I don't understand. Because my perspective on Gabrielle Union, I used to rock with Gabrielle Union. I'm going to be honest. I used to really rock with Gabrielle Union in her movies. I thought she was next. Deliver Us from Evil. When I was I haven't seen any of these movies when I was adult. I need to see these movies when I'm an adult. I didn't see Gabrielle Union Deliver Us from Evil as an adult, but as a kid with her, LL Cool J, and the whole cast, I thought it was a solid movie. Also, that one that she did with X, Cradle to the Grave. Was that Cradle to the Grave? I think it was Cradle to the Grave. I thought that was solid. I thought Gabrielle Union had a very great career, and she's had a solid one. But I thought she was headed towards more of the Angela Bassett lane when she first came on the scene. Now, when you get on social media, and this is all before the advent of social media, so we get to see, like, a lot of these celebrities we saw strictly through the lens of them on the big screen. But when social media became a thing, we got to see these people as people. And Gabrielle Union kind of ruined her brand for me when I saw her as a person. Instead of the entity that portrays these roles in her acting. Because it's the Transformer shit. It's the Transformer shit for me. It's the Transformer shit with the being so invested in Dwayne Wade's son transitioning into being a girl. That one took the cake for me. There was other things before that, but that's the one where I had to get off the crazy train. That was the one where I had to get off the crazy train. I'm like, I'm cool on Gabby. I'm cool on Gabrielle Union. So I don't really understand their relationship here. I don't understand why he was so invested in it. But let's get back to it. Oh, hold on. Let me go back a little
Came
bit.
up to me, and I get this tap on my shoulder.
Oh, no, I went back. Okay.
Dude, it was the most beautiful thing ever. I turn around. He says, "What's up, black man? What's up?" He said, "I see another black king here. I just want to acknowledge you." He gives me a hug. Wow. Hey, man, I'm broke. I'm sitting here going, now, if anybody could have been like, man, bump this dude. I'm out of here. Blah, blah. I said, Dwayne, I said, man, can I talk to you and your wife together? He said, man, come over here. Shannon, it was me, Gabby, Rebecca, and Dwayne. Just us four. No internet, no nothing. And I went right over and I said, I am sorry, Gabrielle. Because there's things I didn't know. I'm speaking angry. But there was so much to the story that I didn't even fully understand. And I screwed that up. Mm-hmm. And then the internet got involved, and then it was horrifying. And my wife, this is another thing, my wife was telling me not to say anything. No, don't. Right. But
And this is what I said earlier about having the right woman in your corner. The right woman. The right woman will keep you from doing dumb shit. The right woman will give you the perspective. She's not going to force it. Like, no woman could actually force you from doing it. Like, stop you. Like, actually stop you as a man. No woman could actually stop a man from doing anything. But a woman can plead the case effectively enough for a man to think twice about doing something damaging. Now, failed here, clearly, because he still did that dumb shit. But in retrospect, he looked at it, and I'm certain that he listens to his wife more when she tries to advise him on certain things. Like, she doesn't dictate, but a good woman could be a great advisor to a man. A good woman could be a great advisor to a man. Because when you about to crash out and jump out the window, you know what I'm saying, with the full lip, she could be like, no. Her thinking outside of yourself and what you want to do in reaction. Just having that other person there to think outside of you and that reaction that you reacting to. Something to be said. I think that's the primary reason why men with women, with good women, specifically with the good women, live longer than men without good women or men just living alone. Well, let's continue.
I'm Terry Crews. This is where you get arrogant. This is where you get prideful. And I was wrong. I was wrong. And I apologized to her face again. I said, Gabby, please accept this apology. And dude, she did. She gave me the biggest hug. Hugged my wife. Dude, we ate with them. We had lunch with them. Enjoyed his music. And I'm sitting here like, who gets this? Man, Dwayne and Gabby, I got nothing but the utmost respect. Because if anybody could have just been like, I ain't got nothing to say to them. But I said, what a move. Like, man, that transcended what I call, it was from heaven, man. It was like a whole nother thing. And a level of humility that it took. for him to come over and just be like, give me that love like that, man.
Right.
They will forever be. I'm in admiration. I'm in awe of him and her. And I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to call them friends. And I'm thankful that they gave me the shot to say that I apologize to their face without the internet, without all this junk. And it was hard, man, that whole time.
Yeah, because there's a lot of tweets going on. Black Lives Matter, but we got to make sure Black lives are better, or things of that. So it kind of morphed. You were like angry that people were saying these shots, and it kind of morphed into something.
You can't, and this is another thing, man. It's just that, all things, I had to learn to shut up.
Right.
Ain't the hot take. You don't need to give a hot take.
Right.
There's no hot takes on everything. You reach a point where I'm in the public eye. Time for me to issue a statement.
Right.
Huh? No. In fact, don't say anything.
Right.
And let me tell you, man, just like I learned in the NFL.
And see, I got a problem. Don't say anything. I get what he's talking about on everything. I get what he's talking about when he says don't say anything on everything. Like you're probably, like, no one individual is qualified to be saying to have an opinion on everything, or to have a valuable opinion on everything. No one individual is qualified to have a valuable opinion on all areas of life. There's no such a human being. But if he didn't speak up, we wouldn't have known of the transgression. So I think when you've been wrong, being public about you being wronged, it's perfectly fine, as long as you sought other recourse initially, which in his situation, he didn't. He went to social media first before he did the lawsuit thing. But I think you need to do the lawsuit first and then go and, air them out. Because I don't want to know. Have you ever been to a registered sex offenders map? Have you ever seen one? A registered sex offenders map in your neighborhood? Some of y'all don't want to see it. I guarantee you will sleep 1,000 times better at night if you never look at that map. If you never look at but the downside of being misinformed is that you possibly leave yourself open, you and your family members, to be susceptible to someone who has done that and may do it again, which is why they're registered. So that's what y'all to do. We ain't gonna do that today on this show. But I think Terry Crews, based on his own testimony, is 100% vindicated on his action. He did the right thing in the moment. Just not blow up and crash out, cause a scene, get arrested. You know what I'm saying? He did the right thing long term. A lot of us don't like to think in long term. A lot of us like to be very immediate without actually playing the game, because he could have easily been blackballed. He's been in things since. So there's still people that are supporting Terry Crews, but he could have easily got Moniqued or Katt Williams. Because remember, Katt Williams is blackballed too. That's why he does everything independent. So you can't blackball somebody that does everything themselves. It's damn hard to blackball somebody that does everything themselves. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue to another clip. This is actually, we're going to go back to the big screen because I want to make sure I got the right thing. Here we got, this is going to be Terry Crews. And this goes into our next topic, because this is actually switching from Terry Crews to Katt Williams. And Katt, Hold on, Katt. Let me get you right. Katt has absolutely been killing it, both social media and in interviews. And we're going to get into Katt Williams being vindicated by way of Terry Crews's testimony on Club Shay Shay. Like, is absolutely crazy that so many people had so much. The thing that I was really disappointed in was Kevin Hart's saying that Katt Williams was on drugs. Because the moment, let me go back to the big screen. I was very disappointed in Katt Williams when he was talking about Kevin Hart. I was very disappointed, I was disappointed in Kevin Hart when he was talking about Katt Williams being on drugs. And the reason why I was disappointed was because it was very reminiscent of Dave Chappelle. Of Dave Chappelle's story. Of Dave Chappelle when he turned down $50 million. When he should have actually been paid $250 million. He turned down $50 million. No, it was 10%. So he actually was supposed to be paid $500 million. They offered him $50 and he turned it down. And everything was circling in the tabloids. I don't think TMZ was quite the thing back then, but the paparazzi was prevalent and tabloids were pressing up what they were pressing up. The internet was a thing, but I don't think TMZ was just yet. And everybody was saying that Dave Chappelle was a crackhead. So when Kevin said what he said about Katt Williams, I immediately was no longer a supporter of Kevin Hart when he came at Katt Williams the way that he came at Katt Williams. And there's this crazy video of Katt Williams about to get on a private jet talking about we can compete in comedy, we could do boxing or rap cipher, da da da. He said, I'll take you in anything that you want to do. Being the competitive person that Katt is. So it looked absolutely crazy, but I mean, what would be your response to someone calling you a crackhead and making it seem like that's actually what you do and what you're on, and painting the narrative in the way that, oh yeah, it's messing up the bag and it has validity to the, okay. You can't all just go along to get along. At some point, somebody gonna have to do something. You know what I'm saying? So Katt Williams is going to challenge him in all the arenas that he excels in. Katt Williams is actually a decent MC, and a lot of people don't actually know that, but he can spit a mean 16. But let's get into this clip of Terry Crews speaking on the time that we all didn't really know about until Club Shay Shay, of Katt Williams being homeless.
It was me, Katt Williams, sitting next to each other in a little bitty room. And he was like, man, come on in, we got this, because Tiny Lister didn't want to do, my good friend.
Yeah.
God bless his soul.
Yeah.
Tiny Lister didn't want to do the third one. And they said, we got a new character, a guy named Damon and the whole thing. I was like, and see, you got to understand too, I had nothing to lose.
Right.
Like when I say nothing to lose, I came in there like Craig and Day Day. Just the niggas I want to see, you know. Bro, I had nothing. I went back to Flint on them. I was like, this is where I came. These are the cats I knew.
Right.
And I came in there, man, and Offset, Cube, everybody, they're like, ah, they're like, oh. And then Katt came in, and just the audition. And they said, you in. And Friday after next. Listen, I saw Cube probably about a month ago. And I walked up to him, man. I said, dude, thank you. thank you. I said, you have no idea how many careers you started just by giving us that shot.
Right.
A lot of people never, ever really give props where props is due.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they're like, well, I didn't get that much money, but dude, that was my start.
Yep.
Well, listen, I was
You
in a
just
little
wanted the
bitty
opportunity.
cubicle. Man, I was just thankful. I was walking around, and listen, and what was so crazy is me and Katt was homeless at the time.
Wow.
So Katt was living in his trailer. And me and Katt said, hey, man, and I remember talking to Katt, I said, Katt, I said, we never get another opportunity. We got to make sure they remember us. I said, because we the two new cats in this whole thing. They know everybody else.
Right.
I said, but it's me and you. And remember, man, I was not going to let what happened in my football career happen to my entertainment career.
Man, I'm listening to you tell the story, T. And the way you telling the story, football never gave you the high that what you got by just doing that.
Exactly. I knew I was in my destiny. When I say, and this is what I'm saying, I found my destiny. I was gone. When people see that scene in Friday After Next, look, you turn the sound down, it ain't a comedy.
Right.
We was crying.
Right.
We were deep. They was so in it. He was crying, I was crying. People were sitting by the monitors like, what are we looking at right now? Because I was so gone in, and I said, this is where, and then it was so wild because I didn't even want money anymore. I said, I want that feeling again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's too, because you could talk about athletes and money and all that stuff, but there's a point when I'm sure when you just catching and doing everything right, you want to chase that again. They call it the zone. They call it what it's just flow, whatever that is. And let me tell you, you know when I hit that flow again? When I was doing White Chicks. That movie, White Chicks. Everything I said just flowed.
Friday Up Next, White Chicks came off of.
Well, it came after that.
Right.
Because again, you're talking about the whole, the Black Hollywood is very small.
Mm-hmm.
And once Friday After Next hit, people were like, this dude. And so what was so great is Keenan Ivory Wayans was like, hey man, we got to get this dude a shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Right.
they're like, man, we want some of that on us. And
Right.
it kept, on all my business, Shannon, in this town has been repeat business. I mean, the reason I was with all these Sandler movies, Adam Sandler called me. But the thing is, when I did Longest Yard, which was my revenge on the NFL,
Right.
me and Michael Irvin,
Right.
the whole movie, I was like,
together.
this is the one everybody gonna remember. Like, good God, like, who gets that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I remember Chris Rock was like, hey man, he's on the movie, Longest Yard. He said, dude, you killing. I got something for you. I said, what is it? He said, don't worry about it. I got something for you. I go home, the script for Everybody Hates Chris is literally on my doorstep.
So that's where that came from. That's where that came from. Okay. That's what I wanted. Okay. So they met up at, him and Chris Rock met up at Longest Yard. Let's go back for a minute. So Terry Crews met up with Chris Rock on Longest Yard, which the only reason he got Longest Yard was after his performance on White Chicks, which he got that role from his performance in Friday After Next. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about building. Salute to Nightish. Nightish, what's happening? I see you in there trolling me as usual. What's going on, OG? What's going on? What? The cat scene in White Chick? Yeah. But Nightish, you got to understand, from Katt's perspective, that was a lot better. That was a lot better than what they wanted to do. Hold on, man. I'm trying to give you mine because you should have done Ben mod. But it's not allowing me to do the thing. Hold on, clear that out. Yeah, it's not allowed. Let me see if I can get low W. Yeah, it's not allowing me to do it on the pop-out chat. You know what? I'm gonna take it back to the other chat. Hold on. We gonna do this. Yeah, it's not popping out the little menu that it should to do it, but I'm gonna figure out another way around it. Especially, you know what? I'm gonna do it from over here. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do it from over here, and we're gonna do it off of this one while I'm talking to you. So he got the rolling white chicks, right? He went ahead, got the rolling white chicks. The only reason he got that rolling white chicks was because of what he did with Friday After Next.
What if
which
I
is
told you?
Which is interesting. That's interesting strictly because of, the type of role that he had. But I guess they believe that it was funny enough. So look, if they thought it was funny, it was funny. If they thought it was funny, it was funny. Nah, this isn't OBS. This is a different one. I'm trying to get hold on. I'm trying to get you set up squared away in the studio. There we go. Yeah, big wrench for Nightish. There you go. Finally. On my recurring people. I wrench up my recurring people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Nah, this isn't OBS. This is another broadcast software, but it isn't OBS. I use it to customize the look because I don't like the limitations of StreamYard. I really don't care for the limitations of StreamYard. But so this is what I'm talking about when I say building. So Terry Crews, his big break was Friday After Next alongside Katt Williams. They go on, do more and more things. Terry Crews gets white chicks, then he gets The Longest Yard, then, the ball keeps rolling, so on and so forth. Everybody Hates Chris spawned from The Longest Yard. And then it just keeps going on and so forth. It's about building at the end of the day. It doesn't matter when you get started, you got to start. Remember, Katt Williams said that he was in his late 30s when he was getting started. Everybody was already funny. And he had to figure it out in his late 30s. He had to figure it out. No teeth. Homeless. He gets the roll of Money Mike, and then he goes up from there. But before Money Mike, Katt Williams also had to do a bunch of stand-up in the comedy world. So let's get back to it. Training Day. Terry Crews was in training. He was, wasn't he? That's weird. Okay. Ha. All right. Let's I forgot that Terry Crews was in Training Day. Let's get back to it though. So like I said, everything builds off of everything else. If you never put anything out, you never have a foundation to build upon. So I suggest that you get to put stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Nightish knows about that. Salute to you and your success, Nightish, on your channel. You don't do the 12-hour live streams anymore though. I've been looking for the 12-hour live streams because I used to love to hop up on there, get in where I could fit in with my time schedule, especially since I switched to nights on the job for more hours. But let's get to it. Breaking this down further.
I open that up. He's like, I want you to play my dad.
He said, I want you to play my dad. How would that, oh shit, that's the background. Hold on. We over here with it. How would you feel? If someone just looked at you, if someone looked at you and was like, I want you to play my father. Like, I need to see a picture. I've never seen a picture of Chris Rock's father to know what he actually, like, how that would go, like what Chris Rock's father actually looks like. Does he look like Terry Crews? I'm curious now as to that connection. They worked together on The Longest Yard. What about Terry Crews made Chris Rock approach him and be like, yeah, I want you to play my father? Probably the fact that Chris's father had always held down 2 jobs that were physically demanding jobs, and Terry Crews is built how he's built. That's the only connection I can think of. But I've never seen a picture of Chris Rock's father. So that'd be interesting for me to check out. Let's continue.
It's like, I want you to play my dad. Because he saw me and my wife and my 2 kids out there in Santa Fe, New Mexico, when we was filming Longest Yard. He was watching. And that's the thing you got to remember, everybody is watching. Everybody is watching. And so then I played Chris's dad, and everybody hated Chris for 4 years straight. This man, when I look at my life, man, I just thank God for every opportunity. And now this is another thing, because I'm now reached the point, because I play with all these guys and they're gone. Now I'm losing actors. Man, Andre Bauer passed away last week. And he took me under his wing, man. You talk about one of the best actors of our generation. Right. I mean, Juilliard trained, absolutely incredible, Emmy Award winning, dramatic beast.
Right. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Correct?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, who was able to come and flip it to a comedy like that. And I was like, man, what is the secret? And this is another thing, he was like a super all-pro who could have looked down on all of us, but decided he was just gonna pull us all up with him. 61 years old. He was like my big brother.
Right.
I look at guys that are dying. When I look at Michael Clark Duncan's gone. Tiny Lister, gone. Lance Reddick, gone. And I'm like, Chadwick Boseman, gone. We did a movie Draft Day together. Okay? And I'm going, man, you don't have forever.
I need to check out Draft Day. I haven't seen that.
You gotta go for it. You got to get what you are come to get now. And you can't waste time. You can't treat it like, well, I'll whatever.
Tomorrow.
Because I seen it in the NFL. And everybody thought, and this is the thing, everybody had determined certain people that already won. Like, I won life, he won. You know, people say, hey, won the internet, whatever. It ain't never over it. It's never how you start. It's how you finish.
Right.
And let me tell you, when I'm done, and I'll be honest with you, man, I'm just getting started. I truly, truly feel I have the same energy that I had when I first started. I'm really thankful to be sitting here with you right now. But I admire you for just your transition. You know what I mean? And the energy that you bring. Your passion is palpable. And I'm the same way. I'm 100% passionate.
Right.
That's all I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know no other way. I have no other way. I do everything like I'm getting $1 million.
When you sat down for the audition to read with Katt, did you know Katt prior to that?
Nope, not at all.
And you guys became pretty cool after
We
that.
became amazing friends. And what's so crazy, I used to watch.
Notice how this goes into what he's saying. Notice how he's only drinking water. He's not drinking alcohol. And Shannon isn't pressuring him into doing so. He's not doing the peer pressure thing. I just noticed that he's not drinking any alcohol. He's not touching any alcohol.
Watch him. Because we, remember a movie, when you shoot a movie, then you got to wait 1.5 years for it to come out.
Correct.
So you just wait, like people, you're like, man, well, I got this.
Okay, you know what? That could be vodka in there. They could be mixing their lights and their darks. I hope they didn't. but I'm thinking that's water in that glass bottle. I'm thinking that's water in that glass bottle. I just see Shannon Sharp's cup, goblet rather, chalice, if you would, is filled with cognac, and Cruz's chalice is bone dry. Just little things I notice about people.
Income, and they're like, yeah, right, whatever. and you know what's so funny? After Friday, after next, I had to go back doing security. I had to go back, right? Because I didn't have nothing else to turn to. Right. But I knew it was coming. Right. And what was so crazy, I would do commercials and different things, but I would go watch Katt Williams at the Hollywood Park Casino. He had his own room. Mm-hmm. And this man was the funniest man I ever seen, which was crazy. And then I'll never forget when he started selling out the Universal Amphitheater and watching them blow up. This is another thing too, to watch people all, it's funny because I see kids that's been on set and now they're superstars now. You know, like Tyler James Williams is now a superstar. Right. You know, I've watched people, this is the, you never know what's going to happen. You know, you look at things and you go, oh my God, this man was, listen, one great example. We were at the BET Awards and I saw this little kid walking around with a little hat on. And I was like, hey, I got his mixtape. I said, Kendrick. He's like, you know who I am? It's Kendrick Lamar, bruh. I said, man, your mixtape, dude, Section 80 is amazing. I said, you are the next. I said, Rebecca, this is Kendrick. He was like, you know who I am?
It be like that sometimes. Sometimes it, even when, and I'm not saying that this actually happens to me often, but there's a couple of times where people actually recognize me out in public based off of, it might be my Facebook because I got a lot of followers on Facebook. It could be something on my IG, either one of my, any one of my IGs. It could be a piece of content that they saw me on another person's platform. And so I've become more cognizant of the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I am who I am. And to some people, I may be one way. To other people, I may be another way. And I just have to embrace the fact, I have to embrace it all. Whether people hate what I say, like what I say, love what I say, they want to support me, don't want to support me, I am here for it all. You have to get into that mindset of you are here for it all. The ups, the down, the uptime, the downtime, the time where you got nobody watching you, the times where you got a bunch of people watching you. You have to embrace all of that. You have to embrace all of that. And I think that is perfect. Let's get back to it. I think that's perfect of what he's talking about. I think that's perfect to what he's talking about. Let's go back.
Are the next. I said, Rebecca, this is Kendrick. He was like, you know who I am? I said, who? I said, I love you. I said, I think you are going to be the future. And what's so crazy is that he called me a few years later, ended up doing a video with him. Right. Because he said, remember when you told me you knew who I was? Remember this? You told me I was going to be doing something great. Look at this, man. Right. Now, look, tell me he's not the best in the world right now. Yeah. And I'm so proud. And the thing is, too, man, there's another thing I had to learn, and that the NFL taught me that I had to unlearn: competing. I decided to never compete with people. This was my problem. Because they call it the sin of comparison. Right. When I'm looking at what you got and comparing what I got, it's always going to be a problem. Yeah. Always. Right. Because you always going to come up short. Yeah. Yes. Somebody always got more. Right. And then somebody always got less, but you always want more. Right. And I realized, man, that creativity was the exact opposite of competition.
Right.
If I'm being creative, I'm not competing. So I decided, you know what? Because everybody was like, hey man, you gotta, when you gotta be like Tiny, you gotta be this, you gotta blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me. And they was like, yeah, but you kind of weird. I said, yeah, I am.
That's what made me unique.
I am. All right. Listen, first of all, you can't even, it got to the point where we read scripts now today. We want a Terry Crews type. Because.
And this is the thing, like typecasting, we see it now in music. If you've ever tried to get instrumentals from a producer, it's real big to put such and such type beat, like J. Cole type beat, all of this typecasting. Nobody wants what already exists. Everybody wants something new. Nobody wants what already exists. Everybody wants something new. This is the reason why Katt Williams never does the same joke twice in any of his stand-ups, in any of his specials. He doesn't do the same joke twice. I'm not going to say never, because there was a couple of times early in his career that he was doing the same material, but you can't see that today. He always comes with fresh material. As Dave Chappelle nowadays comes with fresh material. All the greats are coming with fresh material. And this is the thing. If we wanted another I tell artists this all the time, don't try to be Lil Baby. Don't try to be Kendrick Lamar. Don't try to be J. Cole. Don't try to be anybody else, because if people want them, then they'll go to them for them. We already got one of those in the market. There's already a Kendrick Lamar. There's already a T.I. There's already a Lil Wayne. There's already a Busta Rhymes. There's already J. Cole. There's already Lil Uzi Vert. There's already a Lil Durk. There's already the people that are already out. They're already here. They're already on. They're already doing. They're already entertaining. They already have their sound. They already have the way that they present their brand, the way that they communicate messages, their cadence, their flow. They already have it together. They already have it together. What is it that you're bringing to the table that is different, that sets you apart, that has you be the standout instead of out here looking like the stand-in? Uh-oh. Did my software stop? Hold up. It's unresponsive now. Hold on. Let me go back. I gotta check the health of my. Oh man. Hold on. Okay. We're good. We gonna rock. All right. I just had to check the health of because it looked like my software froze, but no, it's still streaming, so we still rocking. So this is the thing. There's already a Katt Williams in the market. There's already all of these other people in the market. So the best way to differentiate yourself is to be yourself. Because we already have them, but what about you? We don't know you yet. And a lot of artists we don't know about because they're trying to be other artists. A lot of comedians, a lot of R&B singers, a lot of rappers. We don't know who they are because they're emulating someone else. We don't know who you are. So let's get, let me see, will it take me to the YouTube view? I won't be able to bring up video or anything. So I was going to end the show because I usually don't run this long. And I think that's what my software is screaming at me for. I usually don't run this long. But, you know, Katt Williams, I believe, is 100% vindicated. There are far too many confirmations about things that Katt Williams has said versus what everybody else has said. So this is still a part of the aftermath of Katt. You know what? I am going to play this audio, and then we'll dip up out of here. I'll play it as audio. I can't bring it up as video right now. I'm going to have to check into that and why that is the way it is currently. But I can at least have you listen to the audio. I'm going to turn it all the way up as much as I can, and I'm going to mute myself so that y'all can hear it loud and clear. It's a great moment on, Katt Williams was recently on the Joe Rogan Experience. And once again, he's not promoting a product. He's not talking about his tours. He's at the level in his game that he's laid the foundation, built up enough work. People know who he is. He has the notoriety. He has the professionalism. He has the reputation to sell out shows every city that he touches down in for a tour continuously. And he'll just continue to do it and continue to do it. So he already has a system working out for himself so that when people invite him to talk about things, they don't have to do the usual talk show, Regis and Kelly. Oh, this movie, that movie, I'm in, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. He has elevated himself to the point where he is genuinely someone interesting to talk to that people want to hear from and just want to talk to instead of plug, sell. So let's listen to this. We're going to listen to this audio real quick.
I think a big part of it, though, is how much does your government
He's talking about
control
bullshit.
you? Even when things don't even make sense. Like in California, they made flavored vapes illegal. Can you imagine? Like strawberry mist is our number one
That was
problem.
fine, but they let it also hurt black people in that it counted menthol as a flavor and hurt Newport.
So you can't sell menthol cigarettes in California.
Right. They have their own cigarettes. They
wild.
have non-menthol Newports. Yeah, it's terrible.
Why do black people like menthol so much? What's that about? It's a totally different type of cigarette.
You're going to get me canceled.
No.
This is very racist, this
Is
conversation, even though neither of us are. Go figure.
Just talking about a type of cigarette that people enjoy?
Just saying, why do black people like Newport so much? And a black person actually getting ready to answer this, it's terrible on all ends.
I don't think it is.
Well, I don't think it is either because we have a new.
It's like if you started asking me about spaghetti, I'm not going to get offended. You started asking me about Italian food or why are Italian people so loud. I'm not gonna get offended.
How many people have ever died of pasta-related illnesses?
A lot,
Joe.
A lot of fatzos out there kicking the bucket, bro.
That's not because of pasta.
That's an overabundance of carbohydrates.
They were going to be fat wherever they lived, sir.
Maybe.
That's hilarious. They were going to be fat because they're just fat. That's. I highly recommend checking out. I'm not going to spoil everything. This is my first time actually playing audio from JRE, the Joe Rogan Experience. So I don't know the copyright implications of it. But the good thing about being a small channel is I don't necessarily give a fuck right now. I got other ways where I can make money through the content that I put out. So, the copyright doesn't really bother me that much. Appreciate everybody coming through today. I'm gonna have to cut it. I would do the usual outro, but for some reason my software ain't softwaring. So appreciate everybody. Love Dub, love W. Appreciate you rolling through. Intellectual Soapbox, Nightish. Appreciate you always coming through. And Hink in the building. Hink The Basement. Go ahead, follow everybody that's hearing my voice on the replay. We're going to put this up because this is still working. This is Hink. Follow Hink. Go ahead. Search this channel. Subscribe to him immediately. This is Nightish. Search his channel. Subscribe to him immediately. All right. Intellectual Soapbox. This is his channel. Love W, get with me. I don't know if you actually have content, if you want the spotlight like that. But Love Dub, you've been showing me some love. So, you know what I'm saying? Salute. It is what it is. Worry observations, righteous discussions, unite people. It's the Word of Podcast. I am your host, OMNIETC. Omni. Etc. Listen, we're going, get with me in the comments on the replay. Let me know what you think. Is Katt Williams vindicated, or Terry Crews for that matter? In my view, completely vindicated, because lies hold no power. When the truth stands to the lie, the lie crumbles every single time. So I think, based on what I see, based off of Katt Williams' account and Terry Crews corroborating Katt Williams' account, I 100% believe Katt Williams. I think we need to get all the Hollywood weirdos the fuck up out of here. Pardon my French. All of this stuff that's going on with Diddy, all of this stuff that went on with Terry Crews, all of that Harvey Weinstein BS, I think we need to get it the fuck on up out of here. I think more light needs to be shown, but not just light. Once we see it, we say it, then you know how to play. We got to do something to get the people, the bad actors, out of those positions. Because like I said earlier, we're here to fight wickedness in high places. And, these millionaires, they sell the masses a fantasy of love and admiration, but in reality, a lot of them are sexual predators. We got to get them out of here so that we can get things rolling in the right direction again. Peace, love, health, wealth to you all. Chat, everybody in the chat. Salute everybody that rolled through. And I'm out. See y'all next week. I can't end it back here. Dang, that's anticlimactic. Hold on. Hold on. That's right, because I did it off of the phone, and when I do it off the phone, it won't let me. Hold on. I'm going to trim all this out.